Alright, what's going on YouTube? StreetRunner51 here, coming at you with the long-awaited Madolche deck profile. I know I've been asked for this for updates on this deck a few times recently, and I've been meaning to upload this, so let me get right into it. I feel like this build's actually pretty consistent. I do like the way it runs. I found some new interactions that I liked a lot since the last time. So I'll go into those and I'll explain why. So we still play the one Pudding Cess. She's good for combo plays. You can end off a lot of your big combos on her. And with 2300, it can really be make or break for if it's an OTK or not. So it's still good. Popping cards is definitely useful because you could pop the scales you can pop pendulum scales, you can pop back row, you can get rid of some monsters if they can be targeted and destroyed. So Pudding Cess I still like. I upped the Madolche to 3. I want consistency with my early game, because sometimes when you open with this deck, you have one piece and not the other, or you have, or you just need something. And I feel like if I were to draw any Madolche monster, I'd want it to be at least a Madolche would be my first Madolche monster that I want to see if I'm not drawing any monsters, because she can at least search herself and never run out. If you search Angeli and they have a Vanities, well, you're already kind of minus there. I mean, if you draw Angeli and they have Vanities, you're already minus. If you draw Hoot Cake and you don't have monsters in the graveyard, you're already minus. So Madolche's probably the best one to draw first. So I felt like having 3 of her is probably a good thing. Then the triple Angeli, your combo play Madolche monster makes a lot of things happen, makes almost everything happen actually. I still believe in 2 Hoot Cake. I don't know if I was playing 2 or 3 in my last build, but I was testing 3 and I kept drawing this card way too much and I didn't like it. I really thought that 3 would be a good number because I want to see it. However, it didn't do what I really hoped it would. So because of that, I had to drop this down to 2. Same with the Gelato. I don't know if I was playing 3 before. I know I played 3 at one point and I was doing good with it, but I feel like right now it's just the format's more about consistency than anything, so I'd rather just play the most consistent, concise build of Madolches that I could probably come up with. So 2 Gelato's fine. Plus, since I'm not playing the Knights anymore, I'd rather just play 2 Gelato instead of 3 because I'm not gonna use them as much. And then Croissant, I still believe in this card. If you don't know why I play it, it's mainly because you can alter his level from 2 to 3, so he's really versatile. And plus, if you can magically get him up to 5, you can overlay with Pudding Cess and make Chocolate a la mode, and you win the game with that card too. So Croissant has several good purposes for playing. Plus 2, he can be the strongest monster in your deck if you have enough turns with him. Toomey Filet. I actually still love this card at 2. I used to play 1, but I feel like I don't always want to have to search it. And since people are off, like they're not really playing as many traps, this card's more live and it's better more often than not. So that's the Madolche engine. I don't play any of the other kooky ones. I like them, but I'm not going to play them because I know they're bad. For the rest of the monsters, I play 3 Damage Juggler. I know, I used to think, I'm like, why would I ever play Performance in Madolche? Mainly because this card, it makes it so your opponent can't OTK you. I mean, like, you've heard it all before. The 2 Hat Tricker, and that's the end of the Performance lineup, actually. All I play are the 2 Damage Juggler and the 2 Hat Tricker. Because you only really need this for a special summon on occasion, and you can use it to make a Nat Beast turn 1. If you open just an Angeli and just a Hat Tricker, you can make Nat Beast turn 1 with this deck. So I felt like that play alone was really notable, and I felt like with Pendulums running around, it's just so important. Then you play the Glow Up Bulb, obviously to make your Nat Beast, Barkion, Trishula. Those are the only synchros. 2 Veiler, because there's a lot of Satellar Knights and stuff running around at the locals. So I felt like 2 Maxi's great, but against Pendulum decks, like they'll mainly just Pendulum summon their guys, and then maybe make 1 summon after that, but you can't chain Maxi to a Pendulum summon, so I felt like Veiler would be a little bit better to negate things like Deneb, Altair, to negate things like Skullcrobat Joker, to negate things like a Big Eye or a Draco Sack that they might have summoned, or, just anything that they could possibly have. Castell's a big one. Any rank 4, just Valor it. It kind of gets the problem out of the way. So moving into the spells, we play 2 Chateau, 1 Ticket, same as before, same as always. The 1 Instant Fusion for Norden, because Norden opens the deck up to Trishula more and a bunch of other rank 4 plays. Then you play the Double Summon. I was kind of against this card for a while, and then in testing, because I'm like, well, let's fill this in with Double Summon for now. And then in testing, I was like, this card actually is pretty good. I like it a lot, because it's, I know it's just an empty card, like it's an empty summon card, like it doesn't plus you or net you anything, but in Madolche's, like, you rely so much on your normal summon, if something ever were to happen, or if you ever just needed another summon to make the play you needed to win the game, and you just happen to have the Double Summon in your hand, you win the game. So that's why I felt like playing Double Summon was pretty good. And it's not a special summon, it's a normal summon, so they can't vanities it or anything, so it's pretty good. You play 2 Lance, because for the traps that are around, I sure as hell don't want to get negated or bottomless or something if I'm trying to make my big play, because then you definitely lose. So that's why you gotta play the 2 Lance. Then you play the Foolish to send the Glow Up Bulb or the Damage Juggler. You play Dark Hole / Regeki, doesn't really matter which, for some monster destruction. Palooza. It's the OTK card. I love this card more than I love almost any other card in the deck. Like, if I could play all Madolche monsters and then like all Paloozas, I would, because you just win the game every time you drop this card. So then you play Vanities, 2 Deep Prison, because I like to get things just out of the game, because Mirror Force is really, really, really bad right now. But Deep Prison at least just gets it removed. Like, you're playing against Teller Knights and you Mirror Force all their guys, well, guess what? They're going to get shit back. But when you Deep Prison it, it's gone, and it's never coming back again. Then you play the Warning. You can play 2 Grandhorn. Well, you could, but I play 2 Grandhorn. I love Grandhorn in the deck because it just skips the next phase, and it makes it so your plays are a little more powerful that way. It's less stuff to worry about having to send back with a Tiramisu. And then play Bottomless, obvious, and then Torrential. I took out the 3rd Hoop Cake for the Torrential, because I love being able to just Torrential somebody's board and then go off the next turn. I feel like it's just important. Onto the extra deck, you play 2 Tiramisu. Oh, no, that's not 2 Tiramisu. Sorry. 2 Tiramisu. Self-explanatory, it's the best card in the extra deck. Not really gonna go over. Sorry, it's the sleeves on the bed. They're chaotic, so I don't know why they put this stupid freaking thing down here. But you play 2 Tiramisu. Best card in the extra deck by far. The 1 Chocolala mode. I used to play 2. I dropped it to 1 because you'll either use it to finish off the game, or you'll actually overlay into her. So you're a little more conservative with her now, but her effect is still good. It triggers Ticket, triggers Chateau, I think. Yeah, I think it still triggers Chateau. Yeah, it does trigger Chateau, so it's actually really good. And then you play the 1 Invoker still. Great card. It makes some of your plays happen, because sometimes you can't. Sometimes Leviair doesn't do it, so you need Invoker to make your play. And then 2 Leviair, because with Glow Up Bulb and with other things in the deck, like Norden, you can bring back the Norden with Leviair, and then activate Norden's effect and make a rank 4 just off of a Leviair. So it gets pretty powerful. 1 Melier of the Trees. A lot of people never play this card, and I understand why, because space is a thing. But when you're playing Glow Up Bulb in Madolche's, you play Melier of the Trees, in my opinion. Because it makes it so easy to go into level 5 synchros and level 6 synchros and do all your fun stuff that you normally would do. Even a level 9 synchro sometimes. Melier of the Trees is really good. Because if you open 2 Hat Tricker, if it's mid-game and you have 2 Hat Tricker and a rank 3 play in, lined up, you can go do the rank 3 play, you have 2 Hat Tricker on the field, you get your Glow Up Bulb back, and you make Trishula. Pretty good. And then Alucard, because he's just able to pop back row. That's really the only reason why. You just to kind of get things out of the way. But you can choose between him and Engineer, because I actually put this in 2 of them in the extract for The reason next to each other because there's 16 cards in this extra deck, and I'd say just choose between one of these two, whichever one you want to play. If you want the defense or if you want the offense. You know, Engineer is really good too because you make sure your tiramisu doesn't die until the end of your next turn. Or yeah, until your next turn. So it gets pretty powerful. For the rank 4s, you play Castell, Dark Rebellion, and Abyss Dweller. I would play more rank 4s, but there's just so much space issues with this extra deck. There's no leeway in this extra deck, I swear. But I felt like these were like the most optimal ones that you'd ever want to make. If you want to change it out, I mean, you could easily put in something else if you want to. Then the Norden, and your 3 synchros, Beast, Barkion, and Trishula. This kills pendulums, this kills traps, and this kills your opponent, basically. So that's the deck. Sorry it's kind of rushed, but usually I would explain more. But I mean, I feel like you guys already know what most of the stuff does, and basically the video is directed towards people who are experienced with playing the deck, and so I just chose not to explain as much as I normally would. Like I know some people want to know some of the combos. I mean, if there's one combo I'll show you guys, it would be, you know, because I did mention saying it was important to know that, you know, you can make a first turn play with 2 cards, and 2 card plays are still relevant in the game. Let me just get the cards aside, and we'll get the Nap Beast aside too. There we go. And I'll show you guys a quick play. Sorry. Alright. So basically, all you need is Hat Tricker and it's so hard to do it with one hand. And an Angeli in your hand if you want to make this play. And what you do, you summon the Angeli, you tribute her off for Hoot Cake. Hoot Cake is going to remove the Angeli for any level 3 monster in your deck. You special summon the Hat Tricker. You overlay these 2. Melee the trees. You detach. Send your Glow Up Bulb. You mill a card. Special the Glow Up Bulb. Bada bing. Bada boom. Naturia Beast. And that's like that's the big play. And you can do that several different ways actually. You could do that from Angeli and Glow Up Bulb. I mean, sorry, Angeli and Hat Tricker. Or you can do it through like the cat and Hoot Cake, which it seems like a bad play. Like if you open up these 3 cards, and usually like you're like, well, it's kind of clunky anyway. Like this is a really weird opening if you have this, because you're like, and it happens more often than not that you have these 2. If you happen to have the Hat Tricker, then like it just kind of makes it so, oh, well, at least I get to end my field with a Nap Beast and a Melee of the Trees. And then next turn, you can bring back the Glow Up Bulb. You can bring back the Glow Up Bulb with Melee of the Trees. If you wanted to, if you drew another guy. And then you can make more plays. I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, you can do that. But sorry it's kind of slowing down by now. I just kind of like, I really didn't even think about like showing you guys that, so I wasn't ready to. But yeah, that's like the one little cool play I kind of discovered, and it really made me want to show that to you guys. But anyway, that's the deck. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and peace out, YouTube.